You are now listening to
The Shooters TDT Radio.
And we're back from break, man, so let's keep this shit moving, man, and talk about JC versus T-Top for a hot little second, man. In the first episode of this show over a year ago, we reviewed Ill Will versus Rum Nitty. And on that show, I said that Rum Nitty out-rapped Will, but Will out-battled Nitty. So when T-Top versus JC was announced, I suspected that this battle would follow a similar path, and pretty much that was exactly what we got. So I'll try to keep this as quick as possible, so let's get to it, man. Round one begins with T-Top using his natural stage presence and a very intentional pacing to engage the audience immediately. Although T-Top is one of the worst niggas of all time at selling a fight, to the contrary, on actual fight night, he's one of the few that will always come prepared to battle his opponent from multiple angles. Even when he isn't being direct, he has a knack for masking general lines that could be for anyone by placing a personal header at the beginning for the setup, but having the punch be more impersonal to whoever he's battling. But the impact feels as though that he is sustaining a constant personal barrage to his opponent. What also needs to be readdressed here is the importance of authenticity and believability in battle rap, as T-Top's presence and pacing has engaged the audience to a point that whatever he says about JC, whether far-fetched or not, will be ate and digested by the live audience as though it's gospel. If you grew up a quote-unquote smart wrestling fan, then rather intentionally or not, when T-Top says, "The click I'ma find y'all," before he gets to the Scott Hall reference, you might think of that as a macro setup to the Razor Ramon punch. The crowd's reaction to his alluding that the culture didn't like JC 3.5 battles ago, although based in some modicum of truth, also goes on to show that the majority of battle fans were a bunch of following ass niggas and prisoners of the fucking moment. With that being said, Top's first was a good solid round and a fitting opener strategically to who he was actually battling. Before we get too in depth about JC's round, I have one quick note, man. If you want to win a battle without saying a word, study Sway 7, man. When JC walked up on T-Top and Top responded by laughing and the added mannerisms to match, that's a psychological trigger to the audience that you shouldn't believe a word that my opponent is fucking saying, man. I remember when I was backstage press covering the King Juice event in St. Louis, and I had a very quick conversation with Swave after his battle with Meta about that. He actually made me look at the art of that in a different way, so shout out to Swave on that. If there was ever a time for JC to utilize that newer, cocky, slow, methodical pace that he's been using, that shit would be now. That rapid fire shit against a nigga like Top would have had him looking like Young Cannon versus Swave. If you new niggas haven't watched that, go back and watch strategically how Swave deflated the audience from Cannon without saying a fucking word. Let me begin by saying that JC's wordplay this round is better than Top's, but that doesn't mean that he didn't have a few lyrical stumbles along the way. Any reference to Fetty Wap needs to be fucking bad, man. It's almost like these battle niggas don't even watch battle rap sometimes so that they'll know what not to say. That no bitch in me like Calico picture was avy as hell to me, and that bust birds like Randy Johnson didn't hit as hard to me as most niggas, mostly because Calico just said it against Tay-Rock a couple of summer madnesses ago. Although I dug the reference to the Goods battle in question and exactly how nice T-Top actually is in that statement, and that Pops left you in the street deja vu bar was dope to me, I felt Top's first was too solidified for the collection of material that JC had in the first round to be challenged. JC needed to be more potent lyrically this round for it to challenge Top's more direct material. Round one goes to T-Top off rip to me. I now jump into T-Top's second round, and he's still taking the more personal attack at JC. Him addressing the URL sabbatical in return was a warranted approach for the battle, as that particular element has not been exhausted yet as an angle versus JC, although it's been used before. Where Top suffers this round is the overusage of JC flips, as they got so dense in usage that I started having to force myself to pay attention, man. In addition, Etch-a-Sketch bars should be fucking outlawed, yo, and banned from all further battle rap usage. Hang them shits up in the fucking rafters so future lazy ass battle rap fans and rappers can know exactly what is old and played out as shit. Although I don't believe that schemes are very effective in a battle unless used by particular MCs, In addition, also with it being yet another JC flip, I did, however, like the making Salah JC flip because the punch wasn't impersonal. Overall, Top's second round was serviceable and it did its job. Now on to JC. JC's angle questioning Top's authenticity was strategically the right play to make. The placement in the second round made sense. Taking the angle early would be inefficient, and taking it in the third would be too late for it to be effective to place a seed in the minds of the live audience as to how to perceive T-Top. All throughout this round, JC's slower, more methodical pace, although Mo would disagree, was the right call to make as he was able to re-engage with the audience. He attempted to set a tone of outclassing T-Top. He wanted to be above all that shit that T-Top would say to him to insulate himself from that image that Top was painting of him to the audience. And personally, I feel the shit worked. He had some dope shit in this round. I dug the Lighthouse Beam shit, the Terrell Owens shit. I even dug the isolated statement of him killing niggas not even on the fucking checklist. That was dope to me. Where he faltered was to play it out Easy EA's reference and to capitalize on the first letter of his name. Sometimes I hear shit like that and I wonder if it's something that I'm not getting because it feels so empty and simple to write down, but still they decide to use it. So if there's something more there that I'm missing, let me know. I'm not above being corrected by anybody. All in all, JC's strategic move to attack T-Top's credibility was the right play to make, and this round was just stronger than Top's second. So I gotta give this round to JC with them tied up at 1 round apiece heading into the third. And we kicking off the third round with T-Top again going right back to an effective attack on JC. He's questioning the core of his actual skill set by stating that JC only sells his material well on stage with his mannerisms, but doesn't actually say anything worthy of all the praise that he receives. Top is now essentially making a crowd who had just had a segment of it agreeing that JC won the second round, but now these motherfuckers are chanting 3-0. That's the art of the psychological aspect of battle rap. He's made an audience both live and at home question the qualitative validity of JC's prior material, man. T-Top had a solid third. I surprisingly dug the Vince Carter shit, and as stated earlier, the strategic move of him making all of JC's previous material questionable in the eyes of the observer was a late quarter strategy. But the overusage of the JC flips got redundant, and although creative as shit, the praise dancing ass nigga was a bit extra for my personal taste. It served as an amplifier for what Top is actually saying, but without it, it's just more of the same material that niggas been using on JC since that video drop, man. If you was around back then when that shit dropped, battle rappers set up a certain way that niggas actually believed that JC's battle career was over with. If he could survive that shit after all these years, there is nothing that a nigga could say at this point to win a battle from rehashing that fucking material, man. And now we're at the third and final round from JC. JC's third round as a presentation of material is crafted beautifully. He carried himself again in an attempt to outclass his opponent to appear above any attacks that Top could make against him. His statement of his return to URL being a threat to some with regards of opportunities being lost and the fear of being pushed to the back of the line has a lot of validity, but I won't go any further than that, man. His poise in the third was that of a vet after Top's most effective in-room round of the battle, but what JC falters is his overusage of Top flips. That shit gets old quickly and doesn't come across as extra special material. In addition, the line about how URL gave him snow and being good at whipping but couldn't flip it, that would have been dope as fuck if it was actually true. Top is one of the few newer talents that was consistently given names to build his brand, and he's had debatables with just about all of his opponents no matter the tier. I felt that JC had the battle within grasp, but his third, while serviceable, fell a little flat to actually compete with the show that Top put on in his third, although I thought that shit was some uber extra ass shit, yo. So in closing, I scored this battle 2-1 T-Top, with Top taking the first, JC taking the second, and Top squeaking out the third because JC didn't close the fucking door when he left the house. Holla at it, man. It's the Shooters TDT and all that good ass shit, yo.